So what's up, people, and welcome to the episode 7 anime discussion of Spy Family. So episode 7 came out yesterday in the United States, and it's titled The Target's Second Son, and corresponds to chapters 9 and 10 in the manga. Now I have to admit, I really enjoyed episode 7, for very different reasons than episode 6, and it really does represent the multifaceted nature of this story. And why I say that is the thing that really made me enjoy episode 7 is the very wholesome drama that comes out in the second part of this episode. Whereas for episode 6, it was of course the side-splitting humor that came out of meme face Anya's actions. And for the most part, I really enjoyed how this anime was representing the two chapters of the manga, with one exception, and it's probably the first strong criticism I have with regards to this anime series so far. But overall, I really enjoyed it. Some of the very notable parts I enjoyed about this episode was the really strong bonding between Becky and Anya. And I have to give credit to the voice actress of Becky, Kato Emily, because she did a really wonderful job of being able to show how expressive Becky is. Becky is a very expressive character. When she is no nonsense angry at somebody, she will be angry. If she is annoyed, she will be annoyed. And when she likes someone, she is very forward in her personality. And the way Kato Emily expressed this character was really, really good. In the sense that she did express the forward nature of Becky, but she did it in such a cute and lovable manner, which Becky is. It really does personify this character very, very well. And the relationship that Becky has with Anya is seriously important in this episode as well as the next few episodes going forward, because Anya is in such a rut after episode 6, and she doesn't have too many allies in school at this time. And so Becky becomes an important character, and the way this anime represented her was really done well. And overall, I really liked the way they represented Loid. And the first part is, of course, comical when he is bouncing around in school in disguise trying to help Anya out. I guess help is the right word for it. But what I really liked about Loid is the second part of the episode, where he is trying to push Anya in becoming an honor student because he realizes that there may be failure with regards to his friendship scheme. And it is at this point that the relationship between not only Loid and Anya, but also the relationship between Loid and Yor is brought out. And as much as I give credit for the director, this time I do want to give credit to the voice actor, Tatsuya Endo. And I have enjoyed his representation of Loid all this time, but I really enjoyed it in episode 7. Because it brings in the humility factor to this story. Loid is a perfectionist, and Loid is a no-nonsense, high-confidence sort of person. He feels that he needs to be in control of everything, and his personality demands that. And yet, Anya is his biggest lesson in humility. For the first time, probably in a really long time, Loid is not sure of his capabilities or his ability to be able to succeed in this operation. And the voice actor, Tatsuya Endo, does it in this manner. His dialogue expresses the feeling of a person who does have confidence but is seriously in self-doubt of what he can do in this certain situation. And that knight in shining armor, where the kinks of the armor are starting to be seen, is really well represented by Tatsuya Endo. And so I think he's doing a fantastic job of voicing Loid Forger. And when it's put in with Yor's dialogue, where she is being extremely supportive of Loid's efforts, and acknowledges all of the good things that Loid has. It really puts a very strong bonding between these two characters, which is extremely necessary for the early parts of this series. And so the latter part of this episode was really, really well done because as a spy, Loid has absolute confidence in his capability. But now he is a parent, and every parent will acknowledge this, that having children is one of the most humbling experiences that they ever have, because you are going in blind and are responsible for the life of somebody you hold very dear, and every mistake you make may cause consequences in their lives. And Loid is realizing that for the first time, and how he expresses himself can be relatable to every parent that has cared for their kids. And so this part of the episode is really good because although up till now there was a lot of shenanigans in terms of the spy side as well as the comedy that comes out, this part of the episode shows the very important part of relationship, character building, and the theme of parenting. And so I thought episode 7 was really well done with regards to these topics. Now, the one criticism that I said I have, which isn't a really big one, but it is the biggest one that I have so far, is the way they represented Damien's early relationship with Anya. In the anime, it is done very much like in the manga. But the problem I see is not in was it faithful to the manga, but is once again in terms of timing and in terms of degree. Probably the best way to say this is if you watch many of the reactors who watched episode 7, their comment is this after Damien runs away from Anya. They say, "Aw, Damien has such a big crush on Anya," which is not true when you look at the source material. Yes, Damien has feelings for Anya, but it isn't a major crush the way people interpreted it based on what you saw in the anime. Damien is a very interesting character. He is a very conflicting character based upon his relationship with Anya. He is a person who has grown up in a very privileged but very constricting household. He takes pride in the fact that he has excelled in a lot of things that he feels up till this point was very important in life. And then Anya comes along and just throws it upside down. And so from the things that he experienced in episode 6 and the things that he sees now, he is extremely annoyed at Anya. Now, this is not a grudge. He does not hold a major grudge because Anya punched him. That isn't the point. He is upset at Anya because Anya is the very essence that is antithesis to everything that Damien values. And yet, as we know, when Anya apologizes, that whole thing with the flowers occurs. And in the manga, it occurs as well. And some of the comments that happens during that time is exactly the same. So yes, he has feelings for Anya. But the whole reason he ran away is not because, oh, I have a major crush on her and I have to get away from her. It's because there is this major conflict between what he just felt from Anya's apology versus how he overall feels about her. And that is why I love how Tatsuya Endo wrote Damien, because he doesn't have a major crush on her. It takes these really awkward relationships that happens in the future that continues to bring those two together as friends. This isn't about a convenient, oh, I have a crush on you, and because of that, I'll be a tsundere, but in the back, I have this uncontrollable feelings for you. overall, in the beginning, Damien is annoyed to heck with Anya. And it takes these weird situations, as we will go further, that bonds the two together as friends. And yet, the way the anime amplified that part of the scene makes it look like Damien has a major crush on Anya. And I can understand how every reactor who saw that scene came out with the expectation that now Damien has a major crush on Anya and he's going to be this guy who's going to be running around trying to figure out how he could express his feelings to her. No, that's not the way it is. And thank God that's not the way it is. Because Tatsuya Endo understands that you have to respect the story and the relationships over just wanting to naturally build a ship. I hate stories where stories are written just for the sake of shipping. Every plot line, every nuance of the story is destroyed because the shipping becomes far more important than the lore. Here, Tatsuya Endo understands eventually there will be a stronger relationship, but it has to be built. And because of that, it overcomes lazy writing where the other character, in this case Damien, already is conveniently liking Anya. And I got a feeling that considering the anime has been very faithful to the manga, it will revert back to the Damien who is annoyed with Anya. And so I think everything will be alright, but I did find that part of the episode to be quite critical. And when I saw the reactors, their comments of, oh, Damien has such a major crush on Anya, I realized that my worries may be justified. But in any case, it'll be interesting to see how the anime takes this forward. Because if it wants to be faithful to the manga, it will have to tone Damien's feelings towards Anya way down, because that's what gives the opportunity for the story to build the relationship through the very awkward efforts that come out in the future. But with that said, I am looking forward to episode 8 because we get to be introduced to Yuri. And oh my gosh, it'll go back from being such a wholesome drama to being a rip-roaring, hilarious comedy once again. And there are some very interesting twists in the story, and the way Tatsuya Endo manipulates that twist is so hilarious and so well done. And so I am really looking forward to seeing episode 8. And once it comes out, I'll bring out another video. I hope you join me at that time. But this is the episode 7 discussion for Spy Family. Thank you very much for listening. I apologize if my opinions were different from yours. And I hope you join me in my next episode. And until then, happy anime watching. And as always, Jaya, nice day, everyone.